Yes, Ara. Sure, what do you need to know? Wait, did I beat the boss? Whoa. I think I beat the boss last time. Oh, you're going to bed? Okay. Well, thank you for saying hello. Is a burrito a sandwich? Hmm. In my opinion, a sandwich just involves bread. Oh no. Is a loaf of bread a sandwich? No. Why would it be a sandwich? A loaf of bread is not a sandwich. I would argue, in order for something to be classified as a sandwich, it has to have other ingredients besides itself. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is a pizza sandwich? No. Man, I lost 12 HP. Awful. I made the first strike. So bread and butter jam spread is a sandwich. Maybe? Question mark? What is the sandwich question? Oh my god. How's it a sandwich? Are you putting it between two pieces of bread? Or is it just like toast where you put it on top? The hot dog a sandwich? No. I consider a hot dog an open face. Like an open face sandwich situation. It's bread, the ingredients is bread. No. Well, yes, but two pieces of bread. You can have butter and jam toast, or you can have a butter and jam sandwich. Okay, if it's between two pieces of bread, then yes. It's a sandwich. If you have a pizza slice and you put it between two pieces of bread, it's a sandwich. Hold it right there, Mario. I've been waiting for you. Oh no. Am I doing okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Is Blue Dark stinky? No. Welcome back from ads. Wow. Mario, I'm talking to you and promise you this fight will be much different from before. Who's this crazed guy? What a nut. Shut up. You, Mario, of course. You remember me. Yeah, sure. That's right, darn tootin', I'm Junior Troopa. This time you're gonna see some fireworks. No! A hot dog is not a sandwich, it's like an open face. Get ready to hurt, Mario. I'm gonna show up a skill I just picked up. Yeah, check that out. You've never seen anything like it before, have you? Your attacks are useless now. Oh man. Youch! Who knew that Mario had such battle skills, Grr? It's not over yet, though. Yeah! A hot fog is a hot... What? What are you saying? They call a sausage a hot dog? No! They call a sausage and a hot dog a hot dog. Shadow's butt sandwich, I'll put my... Oh my lord, it can be. Some would say. But it's typically just cake. Whoa. Whoa. When I eat cake, oh yeah. But I heard people call a sausage a hot dog. Everything... Yeah, everything's good. Why? Just a little tired. I'll be fine here in a minute. Yeah. I think tomorrow when I get off work, I'm not going to play anything. I'm just going to go straight to bed. $20 star points. Yeah. Ah. Put me to sleep. Sounds more like a threat. Mario. Husky Wolf. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Shadow the Wolf-a-woo. How do you? Do-a-woo. Mario, it's me, Twink, remember me? I heard you say the Honorable Star Spirit who was captured by the Koopa Bros. Bowser and his gang are so angry about it. I knew you could do it, Mario. You're on your way. Hi, how am I? I'm good, I just woke up. A little eepy, but good. How are you? But enough celebration for now. I came bearing important information for you. I count the pixels on the next... Oh, nice scream. I'm gonna let my dogs in. It seems that the spirit, or the one of the spirits, is being held captive in dry desert. Oh yeah! I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry, my dogs are taking a while to come in. And I have a lot of... What? Oh yeah, welcome in. Caught me off guard. I was like, wait, what? What's going on? That's a song, not Foxy, though. It's been good. I'm in love with the fox boy on the internet. Maybe Centauri jokes. Oh my god! Bowser wrote it in his diary in some place called Jar Jar Ruins. The princess braved the dangers of the castle to get you this clue, Mario. No, she just wanted to leave. If we find out anything, I'll hurry back to you. I have to go back to Her Highness now. She's brave. I hope this helps. Nope. No! Do 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 boom boom. You want to know? Oh my god! I don't want you to predict. I just wanted to talk to you. I'm your princess. Ah yes, Mario. Hello. Well, it seems that you have received some mail. Which letter would you like to read? Cooper, I guess. Colorado's wife. Here you go. Cooper, how are you doing? Your mother dropped by for a visit the other day. We had a really nice talk over some Koopa tea. She did seem to touch disappointed that you were still on the road. Oh yes, if you happen to see my wayward husband, please tell him to come home more often. Take care. No. It's like, bro, we just left the village. Oh, congratulations. Hey, mister, my dad's opened his shop. Don't you want to take a look? It's really cool. It's a bad shop. We have lots of rare badges, so take a very close look. Stables enemies defense. That one's actually pretty nice. A weaker enemy. Paper Cutie, hello, Darius. Shadow in a dress? Oh my lord. Not too long ago was our 1.5-year anniversary. Congratulations on making it work. I'm gonna be celebrating my 9 years here in July. So would you set fire on paper? What kind? No! If you didn't order these badges, one would you like that? Yeah, I'll buy it. Thanks. I changed my stock of badges now and then. Please check it back occasionally. Curious. How are you doing tonight? How was your day? My day was pretty good. I came home, hung out. When I grow up, I'm gonna learn to be a train conductor. Train conductors are so cool. Played some Call of Duty. Stayed up way too late. Yeah. Doesn't something smell good? Tasty lives in this house. She was an incredibly good cook. She just taught me the recipe for delicious fried shrimp and make it with a mushroom. Someday, if I keep practicing, I'll become a master chef. Chat, you smell something good? There's some werewolf around here. Oh, very nice. I'm glad to hear that, Husky. My name is Tasty. I love to cook. If you're bringing me ingredients, I'd be happy to fix one of my energy-giving dishes. Yes. Tra-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. Here. A super soda. She's gonna whip me up something. Wolfa name Shadow Wolfo. Hi, how are you doing? Lead Crow. Oh, Koopa tea. What else can we cook with? Cook with this fire flower. Let's see what happens. Me when Wolfa. Yeah! Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, I like the Jake face crow. Is it like a cup of tea? It is. Kai, hello. Welcome in. Here we are. Here, please. I got spicy soup. Whoa. Whoa. Cook with a thunderbolt. Yeah, yeah. Why is there a hot dog going into a sandwich? Just kidding. So Jake Face was your fault? Yes. This is just stream. Can you please tell me a little bit about yourself? You don't mind? Yeah, I don't mind. Give me a moment. I got the mistake. I'm Shadow the Wolfawoo. How do you do, Will? As far as stream is concerned, I'm a variety streamer. I stream a variety of things, so... Whoa, whoa, whoa. I stream a variety of things. Typically, a lot of VR chat. As far as me personally, I'm 30 years old. I've been in a relationship for going on 9 years with my boyfriend. I've been a furry since I was like 12. Sometimes I play the guitar. I'm not super good, but I'm not bad. People say that there's a big, dangerous creature living deep inside that pipe over there. Same to me. But you may not go in. It kind of makes you want even more. Of course, you'll be alright if you have lots of items, probably. Sebi! Foxy! What's over here? Oh my god. You know, I haven't seen that old Koopa Troopa lately. He came here often, but always in a bundle. I'm winning big, baby! Hello there, Mario. Welcome to the playroom. To play here, you need a member credit. The kind of game you can play depends on the member credit you have. Well, how do I get a member credit, you... I'll have to come back to that, apparently. I love little oinks. You love them too. You want to learn about them? Yeah. Oinks are timid and mysterious creatures that hatch from eggs. They spook easily and will run away if you approach them. Observe them from out here. There are many breeds of little oinks. They're very easy to tell apart. White ones, black ones, even gold ones. If you're curious about the breed of newborn little oink, come talk to me. It's like a gotcha game. It's like a gotcha! Ugh! Whoopee, it's Gold Oink. Look, it's golden hide. It glows in treasure of ancient times. What's the point of these guys? I don't know. Jaw jump scare? Yeah. You can't wait for exclamation point Sebi? Yeah? I was trying to, I love to come here and watch it come and go. It doesn't move at all. Oh no, there's a rock in the way of the train. No problem moving that gigantic rock on the tracks. It's not working. I gotta go figure out how to get a metal hammer. You could pay for someone's command. Zomber's a community member. A true community member. Bump, 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 bump. Nope. It won't open. Blocked from the inside. You're not interesting enough to own your own command. That's not true. I'm not interesting enough. Hey, Itra. What is that? What is that weird looking cap? Turns Mario to stone and makes him unable to move for a while. Why does that sound... Sounds like awful. Welcome to Harry's shop. Welcome to Harry's shop. Faded, hello, how are you? Can we get shut up for Faded? I'm new today. I never expected to be so nice and quiet in a big city. It cost me a small fortune in coins. Hey, Mario, we just moved in. We only just unpacked. It's like a dream come true. Smash this up! Ah, 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 ah.
It's got sturdy. It knows Mudsport, Hard, and Bide, and Helping Hand. I don't want that thing to help me at all. I would prefer it never touch me, ever.
Ever. You doing good?
Kind
Don't
of like
touch
how its spoons are. Its Yeah. Fun fact: you have trouble seeing Magnezone's middle eye as an eye. It's not a big red nose. Okay, well now that's gonna be in my head for.
Let's sip a stretch time. Hold on. All right. Shut up, 40! 40! I haven't seen you in a while. Forte, are you gonna be at FWA? Sippa. Well, I may just see you there. No, I said I may just see you there. As in, like, I'm 99% sure that I'm probably going now. I'm Chantrell, known as the pop diva. Oh, I used to be able to sing any song perfectly. Each note is a masterpiece. Those times are behind me now, perhaps forever. At the sight of Peaches flying high into it was such a shock. I haven't been able to sing since then. No, I am a pop diva who can't sing. Cruel irony, isn't it? Sure, I'm getting angry at Microsoft with their shitty not letting me get MS Word on my PC to do homework. That's awful. I think there's a free version of, like, Microsoft Word somewhere. Like, not Microsoft Word itself, but like a free open source alternative. Yeah, Foxy. Cannot sing my lyrics are just the thing. If my lyrics really rock, our pop diva will be cured of shock. Tragically stuck though, cause my last line's a no-show later, Pluminator. Welcome to Club 64. How do you like the club, dude? Pretty posh, right? Yeah, my buddy there and I opened up last year. This club was broken here and there in that earthquake, but no problem. We'll get it all fixed up in no time. Yep, we lost a whole mess of glasses around here when the earthquake hit. Been cleaning ever since. It's a shame. Lots of fond memories on those glasses. Here it's too expensive to have a word and such from window. Yeah. I heard that you went all over Koopa Village recently, a long time ago. I went to Koopa Village too. I remember it like it was yesterday. There was all sorts of people. That is, Koopa Troopers there. When Koopa loved the radio, I call those four rowdy brothers, that giant Oh, yes, there was also that world-renowned explorer, Colorado. If I recall correctly, his wife was always worrying about him. I suppose she wanted him to stay home a bit more. I often wonder how all those Koopas are holding up. Yeah. Yes, WordPad installed on Windows. No. Not WordPad. Microsoft Word. Not just Microsoft Word. No, there's like due to Reddit and some other things, I found out that there's like, I don't know, there's always free alternatives to like certain apps that you want to use. Like there's a free alternative to Photoshop. Just true, big fish I be getting when I fish here. Your caterpillars be making the best bait, you fuzz of heat, you're me bait. Just cause you're all fishing, I got to be the bait. Nuh-uh, you're a plumb fool. I may be a caterpillar, but still got some rights. What?
I love you.
Yeah. Like, I use GIMP instead of Photoshop and stuff. Sometimes it's frustrating, but most of the time it's fine. I've not touched Photoshop since, like, 2004. Do. Can't go past here because guard will say no. Wait, why is there really nothing keeping me from, like... I can really just go into... That's so weird. You can just go into the forest? That's so weird. I never thought you could just do that. I don't think I've tried it before. Although I think that the game won't let you continue through that forest. Which Mario is this? Paper Mario 1. It's for the Nintendo 64.
With the butter.
Butter dog, dog with the butter on him. Dog with the butter. Butter dog. Butter dog. That's me. Oh, the dojo's open. Oh, you must be Mario. Welcome to my dojo. I'm the master. I'm the head of this dojo. Cough, hack, cough. Please pardon me. My health is rather delicate. Everybody, if you have a purpose and desire, you may challenge us. Tell me more. Have you here today? Cough, hack. Very well, then Chan will fight you. Now, Chan, it's time for you to fight Mario. As you say, master. Mario, here comes the Chan man. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, I missed a whole thing. I get the browser version. Oh, wow. When I download the file after my homework is 100% blank on all of the browser, it still shows everything. I just lost 10 points already because one of my classes because I turned blank paper. Wow. That's annoying.
Yeah, Penny really no.
No! God! Help me. I was reading for 2 seconds.
Oh.
I was reading! Ow, how dishonorable. I blame you. What did I do? Ow, how dishonorable. Ow, stop it! I added the curse commands? No. Oh, help! The command to show some great assets on screen? What is that? What does that mean? The winner is Mario Chan. You must train harder.
Great asset to the company.
Great asset to the company. Great asset to the company. Enhanced photo binoculars. Ah! Alright, I'll give you this, Mario. Got first degree. Proved Mario's strength won by defeating the dojo. You're welcome to train here anytime with us. What does that even mean? Certainly, I will defeat a master. So the Chan and Lee. I bet you've never seen a move like this before. Wow, wow. Barar. Whoa! Uh. But you've never seen like this before. What is he gonna do now? Oh no, Bombette.
Hello.
Hello!
No.
I'm internally screaming.
I'm coming again. Yee! I'm Marioing again. Oh, you're strong. I'll give you that. Oh my god.
Oh, I smell like you. Hey.
Help! No! Stop it! Ah! Please!
Yeah, Penny made it known.
Oh, that's so close. Let's turn to health. Did you awoo today? I awooed today. It is on cooldown. Bryant cameo? Yeah, enough. Mario's the winner. Lee, you have much training to do. Very well, I'll give you this, Mario. You're welcome to train at the same time. I don't understand. I think I can just go to my house and then sleep and then come back. Why can't you yeet me? You should be able to. It worked. Dear Mario, how do you do? I'm Loyalty, I just did a little Toad. Live in Toad Town. I've been training for the dojo so I can see Princess Peach. I'll be writing you later. That's cool, I guess. You rat, Mario. How dare you embarrass us? I'll never forget what you did. Hey, watch your back when you're gonna make you cry. You better sleep with one eye open, pal. Shall return. Wow. Swing your arms side to side. You can't. Well, it's on cooldown now. Boo doo. Do do do. Do do do. I forgot where I'm supposed to go. I think maybe I'm supposed to go back to the Star Hill area. Wow, 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 rah, rah, rah. That's weird. Hey, that's a lot of jig faces. You want to spin me? Oh, man. My guy. My guy. My guy. My guy. My guy. My guy. My guy is gay. Spin in my chair, pants grab. Oh, Jake Faces is good because Jake is a handsome fellow. It's funny because, like, I feel like for a long time, like, the Wolfa Pet or the Wolfa Tails have been, like, the most used emote, but now I feel like Jake Face is gonna overtake that. And it's not even, like, my emote. I mean, it is my emote, but, like, not in the same sense. It's kind of funny. That's pretty good. What? That's so many Jake Faces! Oh my god! Star pieces, super block. What? That was a super block. Rezzy! No tickles. Rezzy, how are you doing? I lied, I got my laptop set up instead of going to bed. Oh my god, Goob. Goob! Shut up, how do you do a woo? I do a woo! How do you do? I forgot where I'm supposed to get the metal hammer. I think it's in one of those back houses. I just don't know. Ba-ba-ba. Let's see what Merlin has to tell me. Yeah, that's fine. He's telling it. Relax. Ooh, crystal eye, open wide. Ching. Aha! This man's got a disco ball and everything. It's blocking the track. Somehow. Thank you, sir. As I know. So I know. Pee. Puff, well, hello there. My name is Oh, I came from the flower fields, the wonderful lands of flowers. I'd love to spread the wondrous flower for all over your lands. You like flowers, don't you? Of course you do. Who doesn't? For that reason, I'll entrust your care. That is the flower seed, but be careful. It's well cared for. It will bloom. These flowers are delicate. Only one with a loving heart can make them beauty. Please take good care of it. What? What's with all these Jake Faces? I'm ruined done for. A huge rock is blocking the train tracks. When Peach's castle was uprooted, one of the boulders fell off. If I can't do something about that boulder, I can't make it to Mount Rugged. Sounds like a you problem. I wasn't trying to talk to all of you. Actually, I have to select them from the menu for them to work. Wait, copy pasting it doesn't count as using them. What do you mean it doesn't count as using them? What do you mean? May I eat your snack? Go for it. Or I could just walk past this dude and be like, hey, let me in the back of your shop. Hell yeah. I didn't mean to use that. Call of Duty downloads in an hour. This is a residential area. Toad Town's mostly homes, but there's for Toad it's pretty quiet. Whoopa hugs? Yeah, yeah. It's a club. I forgot where it was. No! This guy wasn't here before. Quiz! Chuck Quizmo's the name, and quizzes are my game. You want quizzes? I got 'em. You can manage to answer my brain bursting questions correctly, then you give me starbys. Yeah, I'll try it. Let's go with the questions. Question. What is the name of Gumeria's younger... No, that's wrong. Gumberia. Congratulations. Here's your star piece. Thank you, sir. Good. Okay, one question so far. Next luck. Song farewell. Till we meet again. Amazing group of streamers that is most likely kind of collective community I've ever seen. I've made great friends becoming a part of it all. Ooh, who was that? I want to get to know them. I'm a Mario nerd. No! It's just a simple quiz. Ba ba ba. Bum bum bum. If I was a Mario nerd, I'd already been past this part. Alright, sunshine, power, beautiful flowers. Hello, I've heard that such a lovely flower we don't have here is bulbs known as seeds. This is what a bulb looks like. I got you the seed. I got you the seed. Plant that seed. You'll give me the seed. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'll plant it right away. Literally made more friends in the last 4 months than I did. Oh, hell yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's been good getting to know you and hang out. Where do I get... Where do I go? Hi, pressing that big hole. Because I'm supposed to get my hammer upgrade to a metal one. So I can break that... I'm an idiot! I'm an idiot! I don't need a hammer! I don't need a hammer! I have this! It's not a hammer. It's a bomb! For that boulder! Hydrate Gooby, I will. I wasn't thinking outside the box. Oh, my brain. Brain is slow today. I just gotta do this all along. Ta-da! You're the best, Mario. It's nice as they train up and running again. Yeah. I think the trains are back on. All aboard, bound for Mount. You're coming? Yes. The train's about to depart. Please board quickly. Don't rush me. I just got your train back up and running. Yeah, throw it at him. Drink it all up. Yeah, Wolfoo dance. No, Wolf, I appreciate you. I love you, fact, and you're incredible people. Thank you for letting me come. Truly beautiful. Of course, that's the point. I want people to grow. I want people to have a positive experience. I want people to be able to be themselves. As long as they're not being disruptive or mean. Be themselves, like, in a positive way, not in a selfish way. Wow, Brazil. Mm-hmm. Swing your arms side to side.
Mwah.
Nip the Woopa. Hi, Marco. Can we get a shot from Markio? Mount Rugged, Mount Rugged! Passengers who are heading for Dry Dry Desert or Dry Dry Outpost should proceed directly over to Mount Rugged from the station. Yeah, yeah, yeah! The train's ringing again. Phew, about time I can go back to Toad Town. If you want to go to Dry Dry Desert, you'll have to hike over the Mount Rugged. Follow the arrows. Don't tell me what to do. I'll go where I want. I got an egg!
Mwah.
Sniff, sniff.
Mwah.
Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Do, 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 do. There we go. This is where I get the metal hammer.
Mwah.
Oh no, confound it. Where could it be? Where could it be? What? Hey, watch it. Sorry, folks. Very sorry. I was looking for something and now not watching where I was going. What now? Aren't you Mario? Why you are? You're the Mario. Hello there. The name's Parakarry. Deliver letters. I'm normally a letter-perfect postman, but I'm having a bit of trouble with a lost letter. Wouldn't you know it? I dropped it on Mount Rugged and now I can't find it. If you happen to stumble upon a letter anywhere, could you please tell me? Alright, my job depends on it. I'll be searching the area for a while. Yeah, let's go! Eee! Marco's so handsome in VR chat. True dat. Ah! Ah! Bonk him! Jump on him! Ah! Ah! What is a goop rave? Do 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 do. Ow! Ow! Ow!
Mwah.
Woofa rave! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Woofa rave! Why are they throwing stuff at you? Because they hate me. I missed that. Why are you tomato me? Ah! Ah! Let's all throw rocks at him and laugh. Why would you do that, Gooby? That's so mean. I'm at 99. I'm at 99 points. You think you hate me? What? Oh, no, no. Because I woof you in Rock's build character. Oh my lord. Apparently so. Look at the Woofa rave. Let him go. Keep doing. Keep doing. Na na na. Hit the BP. I'm trying to help you. Tomatoes are healthy. If tomatoes are healthy, then why have I never heard of this before? Sylveon! Hello! Sylveon, I still need to work on your command. I'm sorry. It's gonna take me a while to figure out how to make Woofa grow. The moles are throwing rocks. Why can't I? I don't know. Oh, wait. You want to throw rocks? Hold on. Give me a second. Here's what I do.
Mwah. Mwah.
But
Mwah.
Mwah. Alright, here. Okay, for the next short while, I made rocks free. Ah! See, now when they throw rocks at me, you can throw rocks at me.
Mwah.
Yeah!
Mwah.
Okay, now I gotta go back.
Mwah.
Doo-doot. Doo-doot. Bam! Bam! Ah!
Mwah. Mwah.
All these kissies. Give him the letter. Oh, that's the one. Oh, thanks for. I'm so relieved. Actually, I'm looking for 2 other letters I have lost. It wasn't my fault, really. If you find them, thank you. Oh my god. Ah! What's with all these dancing emotes? Look at them. 2 other letters. I can't believe it. Actually, hold on.
We trust you will be a great asset to the company.
Great asset to the company.
Asset. Great asset to the company. Asset. Great asset.
What's a power bounce? Can I do a power bounce?
Mwah.
Wow! Oh yeah, power bounce.
Mwah.
Ah, I got hit by a rock. Stop throwing rocks! Ah!
Mwah.
Ow! Watch this. 40. No, it's over. It's back here. It's over here. I'm getting Rockstar at me. Thought it was back here. You're gonna be calling me 40 from now on. No. Forte. It is my forte to call you 40. I made the first strike. Wah, wah. I'm not 40. Not yet. Doo-doo. Yeah! $90 or 70 more points. Just cut shadows. Wait, what? Dong. Got my dong! Was it shiny? Oh, I'm about to get hit with a rock. Kyrix! Hello! Welcome in. It's Brazil time. Love ya. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for stopping by, Zomber. Hope you have a good day. How many? Okay. Ah! Oh, I dodged the rock. Hydrate? I will do that. Stop, he's already dead. Don Grissom moves with a TM. Oh my lord! What are you gonna? You're gonna teach it water gun? I played crab game with Wolfoo Wednesday. Are you gonna be able to stay up till this time? Because this is about the time we'd be switching over to crab game. Because we're starting out with Mario Kart. Hydro Pump. What's that thing that Caterpie does? String Shot? You just gotta teach it Caterpie moves and Metapod moves. You just gotta teach it String Shot and Harden. Increase the defense. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get something to drink. Back-ish. Woofa, that was literally my joke. Oh, was it? String shot? My bad. Harden and string shot. Sorry, I wasn't looking at chat. I look at Rod, man. Can't have shit in this chat. 1 second, Foxy. Wow, this is the best community. I'm so happy with everybody. Next, Foxy. God damn it, everybody's taking my awesome things. Boo-doo. Oh. Oh, interesting.
We trust you will be a great asset to the company. Great asset to the company. Great asset.
Help!
I'm ready to fuck.
I'm ready to fuck.
I'm coming again.
What is going on?
No! Stop it! Ah! Please! Stop it! Stop it! Ow! 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 I'm cramping. Oh!
Whee! Oh my god, are you kidding me? Huh. What's the jack face? Whoa. He dead. No! I mean to do focus.
Gilbyman just gifted
What?
5 subs.
Go away! Go be thinking for the 5 gifted subs! A woo! For Pumpkin, Jake, is Lulu, and Cade, and Mia. Go away! Sorry, Carex. Better luck next time. That sounds like kind of a dick. No, I was trying to be a dick. Hopefully you do get it next time. After all, you are what you eat. What do I eat? Oh, dick. That is true. Oh, go away! You didn't have to. Goober, you don't have to, but thank you. Thank you so much for the gifted sub to Kirix. Ebon! What? Thank you also for the gifted sub to Ada. Ada Ukasa. Sub goal. Yes! We're working on sub goals. Let me do that. I increased my hammer by 2. Show sub goals to be tied down. That would be interesting. Ugh. I hate that little pause. That's what's like ruins me. I think Frost already reached that goal with him. Probably. I don't know what Frost does in his spare time. Merchant Fromer! Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Shalom all woo. How do you do a woo? No. No. I need one more letter. Shadow the Vorowoo. I mean, that is true. Banana. Banana. Jump! Ugh. Oh, thank you for feeding the Wolfawoo. I'm not gonna Mario. I'm not gonna borrow Mario. Thank you for the pets as well. Blah. No, come on! I can never get it. This is how you take care of those rocks, right? You just kind of go like... What? That thing ran really far, dude. What? Are you kidding me? I'm so tired of that. What was that? What was that? I'm tired of it. Always causing messes. Have you tried not sucking? You know, I like that idea. But I have never tried it. My coins! Shaw sucks a lot. Oh, yeah, I go. I hate it. Who doesn't love sucking? Ugh. Furry Romo, hello! There we go. Look, easy. Can body slam work? It does not. You got a funny story about a nap you had earlier? What do you mean? Also, Zeno, hello! Also, I owe you a bean, Gooby. Where's my bean bag? Ugh. A boozle bean? Yeah! Except for these are just spicy.
We trust you will be a great,
Great asset to the company. Great asset to the company.
Great asset to the company.
Ugh.
Great asset.
I hope this isn't sriracha. Uh-oh. Ah. What? Oh yeah. I do have to do squats at some point. Oh, you can't say neuters and rolled over? That's hilarious. Sure, what kind of soda do you want? Squat cam? Every time I do squat cam in real life, people judge my my pose, my form. Of course, when I got 2 letters. Did I miss a letter? So I got the first one, and I got one from the top of the cliff. My bulge! That's hilarious. Noters! Aura wants me to get power up. Do I get it? I think you should. I would get it, but I have like 100 things I'm doing this week. Somebody wanted me to do something, and I was like, I'm not going to be available till Sunday. I forgot what that was. Want to see the squats in a G-string? You may want to, but Twitch doesn't want to. Nobody wants to see my butt right now. That's how I work out some more. I took like the last 2 months off, which is not good. I stopped working out like officially like the 3rd week of November. And then I did a couple more attempts in December, and then that was not at all what I wanted to do. Awful. I don't even have to do anything. Oh! So you have to at least get to the higher. Uh-oh. That's a problem. It's an efficient use of the Jake face. Oh, you got a cute butt. How do you know? You should find my Twitter. Ow! Jake butt. You did! It's not true. Great
We
ass.
trust you will be a great asset to the company. Great asset to the company. Great asset to the company. Asset. Great asset.
Whee! Oh, I have to get up there. How do I get up there, chat? You followed it? Hey, yo? They're throwing rocks again! Wolf a face cam stream win? Whenever I feel like it. And whenever I pick up my room. Not a horrible mess, but it's definitely not... ideal. Fair enough, can't wait. You're a very handsome wolf. Well, thank you, I appreciate it. Yeet! Do-do-do-do-do-do. Get more badge points. Pick up. Yeah, Pokemon guns. Now I can do more badges.
We
Neuters!
trust you will be a great
Asset
asset
to the company. Great asset to the company.
Great
Great ass.
asset.
Great ass. Yeah, I'm apparently dumb and I didn't fully go this way before. I think I got distracted. Ah! No. There we go. We like that. I like that. Oh, they only give 2 now. Yeah. Grinding away. Don't know what the woofer says. I'll say it anyway. Great ass chef. Great ass chef. Can you woof a woo and then do a do? Can you woof a woo and then do a do? And do a woo. Wait a minute. There's a cave. What's in here? Doo doot. Oh yeah. Woopa singing stream win? I mean, I could always set one up. Just a Woopa boy playing rock bands and a woo. He's just a Woopa woo singing. Ah! Call of Duty stream in 20 minutes. Oh, you're gonna stream? Yeah, because I have rock band, so it's essentially like karaoke. Well, not karaoke, I at least follow a song. Well, if you want to get set up with... Well, I don't really recommend streaming with a laptop. But, you could. Okay, we got all the letters. Now we can go back to Barrick. Gary! Yeah, VR chat win. A real PC? Yeah. You don't even have to spend a ton either. Decide not to look ugly. What does that mean? You're under fluffies. Hey, yeah, you know, you're good at flying letters. In return, I'd offer to whatever I hope I can't take it. Yay! He can carry me over short distances. Alright, but if you want to deliver a letter to someone, just speak to that person. Yeah! That didn't really help. First you buy a model, then you pay someone to retexture it, then cry on the inside. Yeah, models typically go for about 40 bucks. Retextures are about like 30 bucks, 30 to 40. So 80 bucks. Ugh. Da da. Give me that hammer. Yeah, what would a Goobymon be? Here's a phony! A big fat phony! Dude. This dude's peeking. He's peeking! If I decide to woo, people won't give me a thing to do. Hey there, hold up a sec, pard. I've seen you somewhere. Ugh. Shep, did you stream? How is VR chat? Or not VR chat. How is VR Lethal Company? Yep, very similar. Look like the feller Mario who's been on Bowser's Wanted button. Give, what's your name? Mario. Mario, well, I'll be. If you're Mario, I reckon I've got to bust you up. Power jump him! Ah! I keep messing that. I have to fix sprint so I can sprint now. I wonder if you could remap it to the other controller. That'd be weird, don't get me wrong. We did kinda. Or to like one of the other buttons. Yeah, no! No! Cool. COD does not like loading up for the first time. Oh boy. Yeah, no, it's a problem. You're excited for this weekend? Why? What's up for missiles? Shoutouts, there's supposed to be sound. Oh no! Yes. No, it's just supposed to be my voice making noises. Yeah! I whoop you. It's a rubber duck skin. Yeah, I got whooped. Takes a big man to admit when he's gotten whooped. I should probably be charging my phone. Whoops. It's only at 40%, but still. Goldie! Goldie! A woo, a woo, a woo. For everybody that doesn't know, it was just recently Goldie's birthday. And because it's his birthday, I get to show off my friend. I'm ready to fuck. Yo!
No! Oh shit.
Oh god. Wow, Goldie, they took advantage of that. Hell yeah, for a missile. That sounds sick. No, Goldie's showing off his cake. Oh. When throwing a grenade goes wrong. Yeah, I didn't know you played Call of Duty. Underlay. Whoa! Xeno speaking in his native tongue.
What am I watching? Sir, can you please take these to a private room? This is the private room. God damn.
Let's go! Well, hello there, old boy. How goes the travels? I know it's Colorado. I'm an archaeologist, you know, and travel the world. The moment I'm turning Dry Dry Desert upside down to try and find the dry ruins, my assistants have attempted to gather information Dry Dry Outpost, which is near here. Sadly, odds of we're having little success. All I need is clue and we'll be golden. You're Colorado, correct? The name's Faircare. I deliver letters. I have one for you. Hang on a moment. Oh. Another letter duly delivered. Postman's job is never done. Oh, good show. It's a letter from my wife. Thank you, Sir Chat. This is just what I needed to give me strength to go on. I know, I'll pass this along with a spot of thanks. Came across it while I was immersed around. Yeah, I got a star piece. Got a desert town, Dry Dry Outpost. Just go to the due east. Do be careful not to stray from the path. If I were you, you may find some trouble and you'll definitely get lost. Even the path, that's safe. Watch out for enemies. We're assisting Professor Colorado. Right now we're waiting on the guy who hiked over the Dry Dry Outpost to try and bring back some information. Show that people of Dry Dry Outpost are descendants of the makers of Dry Dry Ruins. What a cool thought, huh? People have been living here and watching over the ruins for many generations. It's a divorce letter. Probably. Ah! Paper Shadow? Yeah! What does this guy want? Hello, fellow travelers. I'm in the middle of a journey, just as you appear to be. Other travelers I meet are like brothers and sisters to me. If a town is what you seek, follow the path to the east, and desert is path's end. Man, what a long path. I don't remember it was this far. Jesus. I'm doing good. How are you doing, Ginger Fox? Welcome, travelers. You must have had a long, hot journey getting here. Welcome to Dry Dry Outpost. Mustafa is the leader of this entire town, so you'd better keep it in mind. Although you probably won't ever see him. Mustafa. Master Mr. Mustafa, the main man, yeah, Mr. Man, oh, where's the man? No one knows, he stays hidden from his foes. You got the duck skin. You haven't been home in 15 years, I'm divorcing. Hey, guess what? Hey, somewhere in the desert there's a stone cactus. If you move 3 south and 2 west, remember that, chat, 3 south, 2 west, you'll find something special hidden. I'm not sure, something else, I know lots of stuff, useful stuff. Hey! Who ends that freaking sentence with, hey? Could you imagine that, chat? Just ending it with hey? Keep this quiet. If this woman casts a spell on you, it might help you during the battle. For instance, your attack power might get strong, or you might get more coins for running. Other stranger things might happen as well. But do not rely on this spell. By no means it will take effect in every battle. The spell can be beneficial, but it's also unpredictable. Hello, welcome. How are you feeling? Feeling blue? I'm Merlee. You see, that's me. A cuter gal you'll never see. I do magic, but not for free. Your luck has steered you well, for I'm a master of the spell. When my spell upon you glows, you might get lucky, but who knows? Do you dare take a chance? Want to watch my cards dance? Yeah, I'll do it. Pick just one if you would. I'd pay as much as I could. The special course. Tally-ho, and here we go! Robin! Hello, welcome in. Yeah, yeah, yeah! Got it. Ba, be that boo, ba, ba. Ra-ba-ba, Paper Mario, ra-ba! When you can find this power, it might get you your forced cower. It will light your darkest hour. Even should you meet a beast, do not fear, not in the least. My spell makes a famine feast. See you then. Please come again. Goodbye, my friend. That was kind of weird. Treasure Outpost was built in the robbers. By robbers long ago. You know the boss of the robbers was the king of the descendant of the king. I don't care. Someone who gives things is nice. Yes, give something. You can have honey syrup. There you go. Ah, you give me something. You might be nice. If you're a very nice guy, you'll give me something more. Another honey syrup. There you go. Yeah. If you're very special, give me something more. Here's another honey syrup. Give me many things. Very nice guy. Very nice. My name is Sheik. I trade information with things you don't know. So nice guy. What would you like to know? What's your favorite food? My favorite food starts with an L and ends with an N. It's a yellow fruit. So sour. Such a nice fragrance. Its tree grows in the desert. Oasis outside of town. If you were to go into the Ace camp, I might believe you're a true nice guy. For of course, only the nicest of nice guys can meet Mustafa. If you still seek knowledge, you must give me something more. Yes, yes, enough. Goodbye. Chat, do you want something more from me? You must give me something nice. Oh, there's a quiz guy here. Quiz. Quiz! It's time to have a quiz about Jaquizmo. I try quiz. Oh. Let's go to the question. Question. What's the color of the block you can break with the first hammer you got? It's yellow. Correct! Congratulations, here's your star piece. Yeah! I just ate his own tail. Tell me more. Welcome, traveler. This is the renowned shop. Nothing, I guess. What is that? A dried pasta? You know, that's actually not terrible. If you think about it. I'm doing good. How are you doing, Robin? Robin, you changed your color from blue to purple. That threw me off for a second. We gotta go get a lemon! Those lemon stealing whores are back at it again. Uh-oh. Hey, how are you doing? No, my coin! No, don't worry about it. It wasn't a big deal, I was just confused. I was like, what about it? Trying to... Yeah! Oh my god. There's a lot of coins. Give me this one. Damn it. We're getting there, chat. Yeah, I got 4-star coins. Well, that's not really fair. It doubled my coins, but I didn't really get a chance to... I want a lemon! Can't get lemons here? It's a lime. I got a lemon! Boom, boom, bow, wow. Bow, bow, wow. Oh, who should I upgrade? Chat, who do I upgrade? I want to sleep, but I also want, since I will miss tomorrow's stream. Well, I'll be ending here in about like 45 minutes. You want me to do Gumbario? Why? Why? Grade this dude. Fine, I'll do Gumbario. Yeah, I'll upgrade him. Why not? He's upgraded to Super Rank. He kind of cute. Okay, well, I guess we'll see what he got. He's got a nice hat. Yeah! Do I have a nice hat, Gooby? Oh my god! Oh my god! So many of these people. Oh.
Hello. What's all this then?
Wow! Thank you for my hat. What Gooby? Max HP 5. If you're damaged in an attack, you can get your stolen coins back. Let's beat them before they can make off with our loot. Come here, little rascal. We got Mawu in the house. Ah! Die! Gooba Woo. I don't know, what's a gooba? What's a gooba? Gooba Gooba Woo, how do you do? My timing is bad. I pushed it. It's not true. I pushed it! I pushed it! Oh, imagine like a Ditto. A pink. I don't know, chat. I just don't know how to time these perfect hits. Apparently. Give me the coins. Give me the coinage. Welcome back, Foxer! It's okay, it happens. I'm gonna give this rat a lemon. And a lime. Chat, I really love... Do you know what I really love? Lemonade. I do a woo! How do you do? Well, I also love chat, yes. Hello, and Paper Mario Nostalgia hits a bit. Yeah, Wolf Slayer, welcome back! How are you doing? Lemonade is good, yes. Like, I'm a sucker for lemon stuff. For my birthday 2 years ago, like, my coworker got me a lemon cake. I was in heaven. In heaven! I tell you. Yeah, lemon cake. Take this lemon! I have a 5-hour nap. To us. Thank you. I'm not doing that yet, but soon. How to see Mustafa. To find Mr. Mustafa, go to the shop in this town. First buy a dried shroom, then buy a dusty hammer. You must buy them in the correct order, yes? Remember, dried shroom, dusty hammer. Buy these things in the correct order, the owner of the shop will let you see Mr. Mustafa. Remember, you must buy them in the... Dried shroom. Dusty hammer. Dried shroom. Oh, wow. Dried shroom? Dusty hammer. You're already carrying. No! Get rid of this sleepy sheep. What? Oh, buying a dusty hammer after a dried shroom? Is that a secret sign that only friends of Mr. Mustafa know? That means you're in with Mustafa. Hey brother, good to meet you. Have your questions need answers? You want to see Mr. Mustafa? He's usually up on the highest part of the Dry Outpost. Just keep going up, my man. Alright, I'm gonna play a COD match for you. Yeah, do it! Hey, touch of my spaghetti! I fell off. Ooh, a touch of my spaghetti! Ooh, wolf of my ooh! Hey, nice guy. We meet again. I'm glad you found me. Ah! He's naked! Mustafa, I'm the one you've been seeking all this time. When I'm out and about in Dry Dry Outpost, I use the name Sheik. It's always good to meet a genuinely nice guy. I meet people all the time, but you are by far the nicest guy I've met so far. Your name is Mario, yes? I heard that you want to go to Dry Dry Ruins. I have a feeling you are on an important journey, so I will tell you the secret. Dry Dry Ruins is a very important place. My ancestors have watched over it for generations. But I do not keep evil folk out of the ruins. Who will? I promise that you will tell no one the secret. I'll give you this. The pole stone is the key. Finding Dry Dry Ruins. Take it to the desert, yes? The pole stone will flash above your head as you get close to the ruins. The closer you get to the ruins, the faster the pole stone will flash. Thank you, sir. I wish I could blow the bottle. Oofy, oof, 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 oof. Furry Ramo! Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome into Raiders. I'm Shadow the Wolfawoo. How do you do-a-woo? How was your stream, Furry Romo? Ah! That's gonna be a problem. Moron's on no return. I'm gonna lose some coinage. It's okay though. No! Why? Why can't I hit this? I think it has something to do with the controller latency. I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. I'm using an unofficial controller. So 3 south, 2 west, right? Oh, thank you for missile. Ah! 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 2 west. I'm running again. Is that it? That was it? A stinking effects bat. I thought that would be cooler. I mean, I'll take it. Cacti also have flowers, so you haven't seen any though. Do people eat cacti? Do. If I remember correctly, it's up. It's like north, and it's like slightly, I think it's up 2 from Colorado into like the west or the east. Yeah, paper cut edgy tonight. Is it up here? I don't remember. Yeah!
I already have it. I just need to go through the process to sign up for it, but unfortunately, to get the PayPal card, I'm kind of stuck on the third, step.
Oh,
Proof of show.
whoa!
The back of a driver's license.
I'm the huge,
Copy of
scary.
utility bill that's recent, so that's unfortunately the
No, Foxy. It's okay. Go to bed. Get some rest. I'll see you on the morrow.
setup, and then for me to get to Philly, I'm not sure how that's gonna work with me. I mean, it's there. It's there. I mean, it's right there under my account settings, and then I just gotta follow it through. And then there we go.
I'm the scary Tentukan Koopa, remorseless king of the desert, who dares set foot in this place. Palace of sand, speak and be known. Be gone from this place. Disaster may befall you now. I am pretty hurt. Not zombies. No! We are leaving. Why'd I buy that? Good morning, Greg. How are you do? The Pokemummy. Pokemummies are Pokies that dried out and became mummies and then went live. Careful, they have spikes on their heads. Trust me. It'll hurt if you jump on them. The mummification also made them poison. If you get poisoned when they attack you, you'll take damage for a while. What the... Did you woo today? Did you woo? Did you woo today? We're gonna head bonk today. Okay, never mind. Hydrate, I will do that. Stretch, give me a second. Ah! Jake, you missed it. I was on stream earlier. Face camming. My face was in the cam. Did you exclamation Jake face today? No! That's a problem. I mean, it'll help in the long run. God damn. While on you played guitar, didn't you? While face cam? I did. How'd you know? Double my XP. Yeah. No. I'm sorry to hear about that, Greg. That happens. Money! If money is such a problem, we have the Woofa. I think we could solve him. Lifestyles of the Woofa, woo, yeah. Woof, are you a boy kisser? Does this answer your question? What am I clipping? Me after a FurCon. Hi, Gooby. Hi, Barin. Did I hear my name now? Fool! You have ignored my warning, haven't you, you fool? You will fall into my legions and become the mummy of the sands. More sand. Game was a draw? Really? That protects against that? Damn. There's always more sand. Oh man. Alright, should go to bed. Have fun with this classic. Of course, Wolf Slayer. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a good sleep. Wait, what? What's the request again? Yeah! Oh, star piece. It wasn't really on my radar because I wasn't sure what it was going to be like. And I already had this week scheduled out. Part of me regrets not trying it, but Like if I would have scheduled it for today, Or tomorrow. Instead, we have Shep Night tomorrow. Unless he wants to play Pal World instead. Be malleable. I don't know. Shep, did you want to try Pal World or do you want to do Far Cry? What's your stinky decision? That was fantastic. Sheppy Plap. What? Oh, that doesn't really help me at the moment. Well, that's good. Processor is fantastic. What's wrong? Also, Oven! Oven, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I'm sure the Woofawoo. How do you do, a woo? Oh, wait, really? A body slam on that metal bomb? Yeah! What's she gonna do? Double it? Double it! Kill me! Yeah! We're about to level up again. Tasty tonic. Oh no, you should play Roar? What's that? Oh, Risk of Rain. I should. Bring an umbrella. Under this umbrella, Ella. Oh, woo. Need more HP. It's time. I'd also like more BP, but you know. Breedable partners. Joking. Oh, I was looking at chat, damn it. No, I don't need that now, whatever you're doing. Ah. Oh wait, no. Shadow. What's up? You heard me. I'm here to breed Hisu. Yo! Sick. I dig it. I unlocked a secret. I unlocked a secret. A secret. So we're gonna go above or below? Wait, you're going? Oh, you're off to bed, Night Shadow, Night Chat. Have a good night, Gooby! Oops, I mean, flee you now while you must still continue love. You'll feel a horrible curse. Bussy or busy? Rostin, hello! Roostin. Roostin? Rostin? What do I get here, chat? It's Ayama! Ah. On top of that, you can now destroy the blocks. Got the Ayama! I like the rocks. Why do you like the rocks? Why do you like the rocks? Oh, that's unfortunate. Whatever. Okay, who do I upgrade now? Maybe Cooper? Whoa. Whoa. Bomb Girl? No, it's too late. She's not my most used. That's a lie. Ah! It's a lie, chat. Don't listen to him. Ah! Bryant! Brian Tawu.
Jobs, I was like, never mind.
I'm
Oh, I
ready
can
to
make that.
fuck.
Okay, watch this. I can totally make this.
We trust you will be a great asset to the company. Great asset to the company. Great asset to the company.
Brian, what have you been up to? I pushed it at the right time, I believe. Literally nothing? I feel it. Someone that's asleep. Oh man. No, Jake Face. Jake Face is what we're looking for. Can I get a heart? Man. Whoa. We also got the Jake Face emote. Yeah. We're jaking it up. Huh. Eee, we're jaking again.
Girl. Sit down, have a seat. Oh my god.
Girl. Sweet. The way I said that's so fruity. Kind of an artifact. I'm coming again. Not the E. I always hear Cass in the background going, "Ugh, this is kind of awkward." They were tink-tinking that night. They were tink-tinking and stink-stinking. Oh yeah, nah. Please tell me they have like a heart thing out here. They do not. Oh, they do. I was like, I could have sworn. All around the world like fun la 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 la. Woofa wooing just like fun la 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 la. They've got me doing just like. Hi, Burrito. My eyes glow.
We trust you will be a great asset to the company.
Remix.
Great asset to the company. Great asset. Great asset.
Oh, woo. You're cute. Great asset. Great asset. Why can't I ever get doubled on those ones? Great asset. Forgot where I need to go. Oh wait, maybe it's this way. Turn back, thief. Your time is running out. If you do not return, I'll not regret it. Where do any of us go? Where do we go from here? Turn all the lights down now. Woofing from ear to ear. Breathing has gone too loud. Show me the bedroom floor. Show me the bathroom mirror. Woofing is way too slow. Woof me away from here. Fate fell short. Oh, woo. Barn smiles in the summer. Alright, Forte. Have a good night. Take care. So long. Farewell. Oh, woo. Goodbye. Ah! Not that face. Once again, why can't they double the 8s to like 16? Do I have a key? I do. I need a moon! I need the moon! Triangle star moon, triangle star moon, triangle star moon! Triangle star moon! Chat, triangle star moon! Exactly. Triangle star moon. Why'd all the coins go though? Oh my god. No. Not my precious coins. Ah. 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 We come from the land of the Valorant, no woo. This is your final warning. This is the final warning. Ba-da-da-bop. Ba-da-da-bop. I think it's kind of scary, not gonna lie. You ignore those very scary warnings. Don't you have common sense to get scared and run away? What's wrong with you? You shouldn't mess with Tutan Koopa, a faithful follower of King Bowser. Oops, I mean. You shall regret this. His powers are star spirits. I've had that he has sort of a pharaoh complex, max HP 30. Magic is 2 MP for sure, and he summons chomps, has a lot of subjects. Think about that. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Come, chomp, come get this intruder. Dude, not schmoovin'. That's what I'm saying. Only one? Ow. Come on, he got upgraded. He should hurt him. I'm magical, watch and be amazed. What the hell is that? Oh. No! Egg! Yummy! Ow! King of the Desert, you rude man, take this. Daniel Morris, hello, welcome in. Come, chomp. WB. Oh no. That's all he has left now is that move. I'm so good at what I do. It's exactly what I needed. Yeah! Please double it. No! That one's so good. Do you lay... I was like, what? Do I play with viewers? I do! It just depends on the game. Aw, come here, Chompy. Wow, yeah, help! I don't know, Dead by Daylight, VR chat, Mario Kart Wednesday, whatever. Need to find my Mario Kart 8, speaking of. Lay on you, Shep. Lay on me, lay on me. Thus Mario Empire unearthed the legendary treasure ruins within the dry desert. They smashed Tatanka Kumba, the wizard, and freed Mamar, the second of the wishes granting. But the enemies awaiting Mario grew ever stronger. What's in store for Mario and friends, where their adventure will take them next? Lulu's! Well, it's a good place to save and quit. Because, chat, sadly, our time here has come to an end. Today, we're ending stream because it's been 3 hours and I have to go to work. But do not fear. Do not fret. We will be back tomorrow with some more Wolf-A-Woo time on stream on Tuesday with the one, the only WV Shep. Do not be sad, or our time together has been quality. No, don't cry.